Today we're taking a look at Black Phone 2. So is it certified 55? Stay tuned for that answer. This is Take 55 and I'm your host Ray Ray. If this is your first time here, hit that like and subscribe button to stay in the loop. Let's get it. Man, I really love the first Black Phone movie. It wasn't just a horror flick, it was intense, smart, and emotional all at once. Scott Derrickson gave us this haunting mix of childhood trauma, supernatural revenge, and that old school fear that stuck with you long after the credits roll. I remember watching it and thinking, this is how you do suspense. The pacing, the atmosphere, Ethan Hawke's performance as the grabber was on point. It really surprised me. Straight nightmare fuel, but in the best way. So when I heard we were getting a Black Phone 2, I was hyped. I was like, oh shit, they coming back with it. The sequel picks up a few years after Finney escapes. He's older now, 17, still scared from the events that went down in the basement. His sister Gwen, now 15, is still having those disturbing visions. You know, those dreams that feel so real? This time, the story moves way beyond the one neighborhood. We're in the winter of 1982, and the siblings start getting pulled towards this strange Christian camp called Alpine Lake. Aw shit, and that same Black Phone begins to ring. Only now, the voices on the other end aren't just warning Finley. They're calling him back into something unfinished. The grabber's presence still lingers. Not as flesh and blood, but as something spiritual, something else. You start to wonder, did Finley really escape, or is the evil just changing form? Let's start with what works. Visually, the Black Phone 2 is gorgeous in that dark, icy way. The cinematography leans into frozen landscapes, fog, and candlelit rooms. It's colder, quiet, and more haunting than the original. That change in the atmosphere gives the sequel its own identity. The brother and sister duo delivers again. Their chemistry grounds the movie. You believe their trauma. And when the phone rings, you feel the weight on everything they went through before. The filmmakers clearly wanted to expand the mythology, and I respect that. They're not just retelling the same basement story. They're exploring what happened after survival, how trauma echoes and haunts. And that supernatural layer, when it's subtle, it's chilling. You get glimpses of the grabber in mirrors, in dreams. Not just jump scares. It's unsettling in all the right places. Now, what didn't work for me and where the film stumbles, and this is coming from somebody who really wanted to dive into the sequel and love it. The first film was laser, focused. One house, one kid, one monster. Boom. Simple, brutal, effective. The Black Phone 2 expands everything, maybe a little too much. We got new characters, new timelines, dream sequences, and a heavier mythology. And sometimes that makes it feel like the film's trying to explain the magic instead of letting it just be mysterious. There are stretches where the pacing drags, it dips into melodrama, then back into horror, then swings into ghost storytelling. It's ambitious, but do it work. And the grabber, as terrifying as he was in the original, loses some of that power here. Because when you explain the fear, you take away from the mystery. He's less of a thing in the dark and more of a concept they're wrestling with. Also, and while the performances are strong, some of the emotional beats feel forced. The trauma is real, but the script leans on it so heavily, it's starting to feel like repetition. It's like they wanted to make The Conjuring and It Chapter 2 at the same time, and it ended up somewhere in between. That said, there's a theme that still hits, the cost of survival. Finney isn't just living with memories, he's living with voices. The movie is at its best when it reminds you that ghosts aren't always dead people. Sometimes they're memories you can't silence. That's a beautiful and horrifying idea. And when Gwen starts calling herself, that's when the film really finds its spark again. It's like the curse has shifted to her, and now she's carrying both guilt and grace. Those sibling moments give the movie its heart. So, is the Black Phone 2 certified 55? For me, yeah, but just barely. It's a mid 55 for me. It looks fantastic. It's well acted and it builds on original ideas, but it doesn't quite have the same punch. That raw energy that made the first one unforgettable. I appreciate the ambition, but sometimes when you go bigger, you lose the intimacy that made people care in the first place. Still a good horror film. I recommend it, but it wasn't as good as the first one. And like we always say, if it ain't 55, it ain't certified. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Did the Black Phone 2 live up to your expectations? Or did it ring hollow? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the hell out of that bell for the next Take 55. More movies, more books, more culture at Sid55, powered by Sid55 Multimedia Group. See you on the next tape. Peace out.